down, hey, fuck what they say. Hit him with the blade.
I'm all on the red.
They start to shoot. World War III, we don't pop. The crack them sky. West, U.P.K. 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 Motherfucking U.P.K. Every motherfucking day. Motherfucking U.P.K. Taking almost such a shit off from a black man. Slap teeth out of your mouth with the backhand. Better hope that I don't get orders from captains to take ground, bitch. I'm ready for action. You already know what I got to say. If you ain't UPK, get you in a goddamn way. I was born in a lot of field on a battlefield. I be ready for this bullshit every day. 4, 3, would you hurry up, please? So I can put my enemies on their knees. They make them like these. There's no mercy for me. You didn't get none to the birds and the bees and the trees. So what the fuck do you mean? Only way we got peace is to hear you scream. Priest and the prophets and the kings. The stories of the book that black God is I'm a big sweet brain. They think about kings, ruler of all things. Hell is what we bring. The trust in the Babylon, destroying everything with swords and beams on a whole nother level you ain't never seen. I'm a UPK king, 144, you know what I mean. One, one wet. Yeah. And that's my shit right there, man.
We about to bombard they whole operation. Certified priests.
Prophesying is my occupation.
This shit outrageous. They done made the truth not safe. That's why we on the corner crying aloud. Looking hostile. This UPK style. They stop now.
Father's warfare.
To that last one round. Let the oppressed rise. And let the rich mourn till the sundown. Enough with this shit. About to make it hot. Call it compound. It's for my niggas. Put the guns in the drugs there. Dwelling in peace in the Lord. Call for the blood. Hey, try to decide my death. Ain't got beside yourself. Sworn drawn for what you perform. How you gon' hide yourself? Devil got to die for his lies and his dreams. Ain't got no love for them dragons. No, just cruel intentions. And in my father's house is spinning mansions. I got plenty of bitch. What the adventures? This your death sentence. I'm talking real slaughter. Yeah, slaughter. Yeah, slaughter. Yeah, slaughter. Yeah, slaughter. Yeah, slaughter. Yeah, slaughter. The day do not run. If you in the world with eyes and die for your skin, you gon' die for your pride.
I'm talking to you.
So one for your life. Try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga.
You gotta hear, let them hear. Hey, brother, got some snacks there. You want some? Yeah.
They crossed the line, ain't no coming back. You became no cowards. The only thing sweet is the honey check. Righteous is the Lord. Give me rest from my sorrow. And hand down death for them devils. This no tomorrow. Why? Cause the violence leave a man in stiff court. You see a flag in the bench. I see horns in a pitchfork. So please believe it. The white man is a demon. And I ain't gon' go for them to free me. They beat us to me. They call the purpose. Why this life till they broke like city. You got this nigga on his knees. They wanna have peace. We screaming, let this bitch burn at 1,000 degrees. I'm laying in the bosom of revenge. I told her I'd do anything she pleased. As I squeeze on the devil D's. What you mean?
I'm talking to you.
Someone for your life. I destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. To the devils that get in this deal. The police just shot him for no apparent reason. No reason at all. They asked for license and registration. That's the police officer over there that did it. With the black on. I can't really do shit because they got me here. I can't believe they just did this. I'm fucking. That they do not represent. If you are the world with eyes, they down for your skin. You gon' die for your crime. I'm talking to you. So one for your life. I destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear.
Yeah, I'm right. Let's fuck that up.
Shalom. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Come out 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding GEN.YAHANNA.
That's right.
Since 1969, we've been teaching our people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, our true identity according to the Bible, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, or the Lord's chosen people. And according to the scriptures, the only people that the God of the Bible gives a damn about. And of course, our oppressor, the same man that has had us as slaves for over 400 years and oppressing us for the same amount of time, is nothing more than the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
And tonight is the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. Understand, we'll be teaching our people, what it is that all these other nations have, but what we're also lacking as a nation. You understand, all these other nations out here, no matter what land it is that they're dwelling in, they all got some type of brotherhood amongst them. So the Chinese can come over here to the land of America and they'll only hire Chinese. You understand, they'll only make sure that their communities are prospering and thriving. But yet, sure, you got any black-owned business out here, any black, Hispanic, or Native Indian that is doing good for themselves, and we won't even, bat an eye at our own that are struggling in the ghettos, saying the reservations and barrios.
Right.
So go ahead and share the class, saying leave your questions in the comment section. So we're going to be getting into forgiving your brother. Did you have any questions, young man? Not at the moment. All right, most high in Christ.
Make sure you get you a sword too. And a dictionary. Bible. It should be. You go ahead and grab that one over there.
We got.
No, I think that's the one that usually goes up here, I believe. The other one is somewhere.
You gotta have him ready.
What?
You gotta have him ready.
Yeah, okay.
All right. We're going to be starting out in the book of Matthew, chapter 25 and verse 40. Give you a second to get there.
Matthew what?
25 and 40. Actually, just for this scripture. Give me 1 second. Matthew 25 and 40.
Okay. Matthew 25 and 40. And he cometh unto the disciples, and findeth them asleep, and the saints unto Peter. Am I right, Bob?
I do not think so, no.
Hold on. You said Matthew's 25 and what?
40?
40.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you 12?
And the king shall, Matthew 25 and 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you.
Hold on. Let me start it off so you'll see how to read it.
Right.
Matthew's 25 and 40. And the king, right? That's what you want. And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
So Christ sitting there saying, inasmuch as the children of Israel sit there and, afflict our brothers, even the least of us, and saying we've done the same thing to him. So for instance, you can go and look at all our people, more specifically in California, and saying the so-called Negroes, tribe of Judah, sitting there going out and attacking our Hispanic brothers on the streets. Instead, just mobbing them for no apparent reason other than the fact that our oppressor sits there and hates our Hispanic brothers' guts. And because of that, us as a nation, we decide, oh, well, shit, the white man, he hates our brothers, so, we must do the same. So there must be something wrong with this nation that to cause our oppressor to sit there and, want to cause all this harm upon them.
Right.
And with that type of mindset, I mean, shoot, that causes for our people to develop the same type of thing,
right?
Which is something we've been doing since slave days. And we've always been following after our oppressor. It's like, go ahead.
Right. And if I could, and with this scripture right here, when it says, if you've done it to the least of my brother, that means that, because we got a bad habit. And we just witnessed it here in Southern Ohio. We was in Cincinnati last Saturday. So we seen this sister, right? She walks past us and gives us, the black power fist. But she sees the devil out here bumming and all that. Right. She gives him some money.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That goes to show you the mindset. And I know in her mind, she thinks she did something good, but what she really did was offensive to the Most High. You understand? Right. Because in her, and here's how the Most High sees it. You get what I'm saying? He looks at it like, even in this devil's poor state that he's in, you still value this devil more than you value the priests and prophets of the Lord. You get what I'm saying? And when the scripture says that if you've done it to the least of them, you've done it to me, you know what I'm saying? Then we got to realize, you know what I'm saying? This is something that I learned very well up under Captain Kaposh. It's our job to take care of the crackheads.
Right.
It's our job to take care of the dope fiends. It's our job to take care of the people who can't take care of themselves. We out here on 10th Street. We see how destroyed these people is. If we don't take care of them, who will? Who's going to have mercy on these people out here? Nobody has been proven. How many times have we seen people step over the black homeless dude? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, darky. Keep mobbing. You get what I'm saying? White people have everything afforded to them and still become bums. You get what I'm saying? And you feel sorry for them. You have mercy on them. But here we are, we put in the worst situations. You got something you want to bring out, Soldier? We put in the worst situations and have absolutely no kind of mercy whatsoever. And it's crazy because we hate to see a black man struggling, but we're not doing anything to help that brother.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? We don't have any mercy on them. And that's why the Lord said, if you do it to the least of them, you get what I'm saying? Then you done it onto me.
Right.
Now just imagine that. Just really break that down. The Lord is saying, if you treat that crackhead like that, if you treat that homeless man like that, then you're doing it to me. You're doing it to the Most High. And if we really live by that mindset, man, we would build this nation overnight. we would build this nation overnight. If we seen that dude struggling out there and be like, look, man, go get you something to eat. Here, I'll take you to get something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know the Christian church ain't gonna do it. The Christian church shuns upon people like that. They go to the church for help, and you know what the church says? Well, let's pray. Let's pray.
Right.
Let's pray your way out of this situation. You can't pray your way out of that situation. The scriptures say the kingdom of heaven comes not with observation. The white man is living his heaven here on earth, is he not?
Right.
That's what the scriptures say. You know what I'm saying? Heaven right here on earth. It will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We can have our heaven here too. We're gonna have here too. But it starts by the most simplest act of kindness, man. And that's what the scriptures say. You treat that brother the way that you wouldn't want to be treated. If you out here down and out, you wouldn't want nobody to look at you like you a piece of crap. You would want somebody to have mercy on you and do what they can to help you. And that's what we need to start doing for our brothers, for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, for all of them, man. You get what I'm saying? Point blank, period. And I'll give you another example, not to keep babbling on, but me, I'm a perfect example of that. If Captain Kaposh and Officer Tarap didn't have mercy on me, I'd be dead out here. You understand? Like, I may not have been a bum, but I was worse than that. You get what I'm saying? Because I was out here doing the most vile, disgusting things that you could think of. You understand? And them brothers had mercy on me and was able to raise me up and able to teach me the law, statutes, and commandments. And my theory is this: if I can do it, anybody can.
Right.
And we got to start having mercy on these brothers, man. Like Madara was bringing up. I didn't mean to get long-winded with it, Salaki, about that, soldier.
It's what?
My fault. It's just a heavy point because I was one of them people that looked down on them. You get what I'm saying? Not knowing that how wicked I was really being, not putting myself in their goddamn shoes, not looking at them like me and him is the same. For some odd reason, I thought in my mind I was better than him. What kind of wicked stuff is that? That's through the same mindset of the oppressor. That's how the oppressor looks, not just at the bum black man, but all black men. All of us. They look at us all the same way, like they better than us. And it's a goddamn shame when we look at our own brothers like that,
Right.
instead of saying, what can I do to help this brother? And that's the mindset that we need to start carrying. That's what Commander General YAHANNA does. That's exactly what he does. He has mercy on all of Israel. My fault. Go ahead.
No, you're 12 out of one. Sure, I was gonna add off of that. You know what I'm saying? And not only does that have to do with, you know, so-called blacks, but also Hispanics and Native Indians, which whenever we say black in the UPK, we're talking about all 12 tribes.
Damn right.
You understand? Like, for instance, you can go out and look up plenty of videos on, you know, social media of brothers sitting there helping out, you know, our Hispanic brothers that got the carts where they sell, I don't know what the hell it's called, so they got the corn. Yeah, the corn. You know what I'm saying?
Part made me some, man. That shit was fire.
Con. You know what I'm saying? Brothers going out and buying the entire carts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That is something that we definitely need in our communities because, I mean, so many of us want for black businesses to prosper.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd want for our people to spend with us and to put that money back into the communities. And saying the same thing has to go with our Hispanic brothers.
Right.
And so-called Native Indian brothers.
Right. Right. Which is a powerful thing. Like, whenever I see a black business, I try to spend black as much as I possibly can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even if it's something I don't need, I'll buy it anyway. And if they got something that I can't afford to buy, I just give them a couple of dollars just for keepsake because I'm trying to support that people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Support our brothers and our sisters. Like, I was at the mall the other day. A dude was selling some shoe cleaner, right? Like, I don't need cleaner. I need polish. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't have no need to buy it. But, you know, here go a couple of bucks anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just to support you. You know what I'm saying? Get you something to eat with this. I don't know. But I'm trying to, you know, put back into my community. You know what I'm saying? If I see a brother that needs some change, I give it to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't ask what you spending it on, none of that. He come up to me, look, man, I need $5. I just ran out of gas. I'm like, look, you ain't got to tell me your life story. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. We need to be that way and have that kind of mercy on our brothers and sisters. Because when you just think about it, when you go to the white man for any kind of assistance, he want to know everything. How many times you use the bathroom a day? What kind of toilet paper you use? Do you wipe upwards, downwards? How many people in your house, do they wipe their ass the same way? Like, come on, man. Like, why you got to give your whole life story for some help? You shouldn't have to. You should be able to just depend on your people to be there for you. Like, because you should know. I mean, you black like I'm black. You going through hell. Well, I go through hell every day. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with these goddamn oppressors. Dealing with the wickedness of the world. And listen, and I'm in the truth. I know for a brother who ain't got the truth and ain't got brotherhood like we got brotherhood here in I.S.U.P.K, I know they going through it 100 times worse than I am. So our job is to try to be there for them brothers, man, and to try to invite them home. And give them home. This is the home of the truth.
Right.
Try to get them to come into here, man, so they can learn how to build themselves up as well as build their nation. Well, go ahead, Mother.
I was gonna go when you finish your point.
Go ahead.
Oh, come on. So, and that's not just, helping your brother out financially. You understand?
You can just cut it off.
It also has to do with giving support and spreading awareness in certain things that are going on in our communities. For instance, you can look at the ICE facilities, saying where there are thousands of brothers and sisters and children that have been incarcerated, imprisoned against their will, and having Lord knows what done to them. And saying for so many of us, especially in the reservations, is that we like for people to know, what it is that's really going on, and we want people to support us and to help our movement so that we can free those of our nation.
Right.
And saying, and especially same thing for the so-called blacks and saying African Americans. And saying, for instance, whenever we had all these protests going on with the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, and so we wanted for people to recognize what it is that's going on with us as a nation, and saying how it is that we are oppressed and being murdered and incarcerated, all these different things. We wanted for that to be noticed and to be known, and we wanted support from these, not only these heathen nations, you understand, which is what was our main focus, because we're such goddamn slaves that we think that blacks, Hispanics, and natives, us coming together, it won't do nothing for us. And but that should be the main thing that we're aiming towards, is to have our brothers and sisters supporting us. So just like how we had these marches going on the ICE facilities, which was different Hispanics joining together and marching and protesting. And so the same thing needs to be happening with so-called African Americans and Native Indians.
Right.
Because that used to happen to us in the past, did it not? Do we not used to have, men and women abducted and shoved in different facilities where our children are not taken from us and molested, saying coming up missing, murdered, all these different type of things. So the same thing's happening in these, detainment facilities. So, and just because it's 2020, it don't mean things have changed. And no matter what it is that we call ourselves throughout the face of this earth, I mean, the same thing is going to be happening to us as a nation of people. So, and not only is it that we need our support from our own people, and not only is it that so many of us seek help from these different heathens, but so many of us have truly turned on one another as a nation. For instance, blacks don't want to support or help Native Indians because our oppressors sat there and turned us against one another. They use, my ancestors as slave hunters. And Native Indians want to sit saying we want to use buffalo soldiers for some type of reason why it is that we shouldn't join to these people. Saying, but yet at the same time we still join any cause of our oppressors and any cause of these heathens. So when Lebanon sat there and got bombed, or it's like that explosion happened, it's like it's saying there were natives up in arms, saying spreading awareness, doing all these different type of things in order to ensure that these people bounce back from what it is that happened to them.
Right.
But yeah, when it comes to the niggas and the spicks and the savages suffering alongside you, there's nothing to it. You're saying,
Right. And if I could,
go ahead.
what you're bringing out is such a heavy point. Like every time, and this is so sad, and I know it's the truth because this is how I used to be before I came into the truth and had a true sense of pride and had a true sense of what it is to be a part of a nation. You get what I'm saying? But like, so here's what really goes on. For some odd reason, and we know the reason, and you know, because you so programmed and you love white Jesus so much, and you got Christianity just running through your blood and through your veins and in your heart so heavy that whenever you see one of these heathen nations suffer, you feel nothing but sadness and compassion and mercy and, oh man, that's so bad. I can't believe that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel so much sadness for them. And you know, you see a school shooting, little Timmy goes and shoots up Amanda and Kimberly and Jason and Matt and all them other devils. Like that's hard for you to watch. I can't watch that. It's so horrible. Can't believe this happened. God bless them all and God have mercy on their families. Like you feel so much goddamn compassion for them. But you turn around and see a black man dying, and all of a sudden you sending a video to all your friends. You got Joe, man, look at, damn! Oh shit, did you see that? Watch this part, Look. No, look, you ain't looking. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's, you don't feel the same sadness. Like, it's nothing to you. You get what I'm saying? You have more compassion on a goddamn animal dying than you do your own brother, than you do your own sister. You understand? And that comes from wanting to be a part of the oppressor so bad, loving the oppressor so bad. That's a side effect of Christianity.
Right.
Christianity teaches you not to have any compassion on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Like our brothers on the reservations. Let me tell you how wicked the devil is, man. Which I shouldn't have to. We all should know by now. But I'm going to tell you anyway. So we're talking about the same people who conquered, right? Stole this land, murdered damn near all the Native Indians. You get what I'm saying? Over 77 million of them. One of them dead so bad that they made the buffalo go extinct to try to starve them out. You get what I'm saying? Like any kind of war tactic you could think of, scorched earth, they did it all to try to wipe them out, right? And then the little bit of Indians that was left, they told them, here, we're going to give you this reservation. We're going to give you a piece of land on your own land, right? And then later on came back and said, well, we got to run this oil pipeline through here, so we're going to need y'all to move. Move where? You get what I'm saying? And nobody has compassion on that. Nobody feels sadness about that. That gets swept under the rug.
Right.
Instead, what you're worried about is over in the white people area, how they're protesting this gas station being built. They're like, no, we don't need this gas station here because a lot of black people take this road. And once you build this gas station here, it's going to become a hub for black people to start stopping. Next thing you know, they're going to be wanting to move over here in our neighborhoods. You get what I'm saying? Just think about that. They protest gas stations being built because they don't want to attract black people. You get what I'm saying? They protest you moving into their neighborhoods. Let black people try to move into white people's neighborhood. We've seen the videos. You're not supposed to be here. Like, you can't even walk into your own goddamn apartment building nowadays without some devil. Hey, hold on, wait. You can't trail me in this building. Oh, you live here? And the first thing the devil says, well, where you live at?
Right.
You got away with it. Will she get like 2 years? Hugs from everybody and 2. You get what I'm saying? Like, and you can't even move in their neighborhood, right? They hate you so much, whether you're black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. You will never see them living in white neighborhoods in peace. But right now, you look around all the ghetto, they gentrifying it.
Right.
Whether black, Hispanic, and Native Indian neighborhoods, they gentrify it, and nobody says anything to them. They the safest that they could be over here in this neighborhood.
Right.
Go ahead and bring it out, Sergio.
I was going to add off the point you had made about these devils sitting there, protesting and picketing about whenever one of us try to, move into the neighborhood.
Try to open up a business or something.
Yeah, kind of. Saying, but I mean, mine's a little different. But so I just wanted to add about how it is that these devils also police, also the reservations.
Right.
You're saying how it is that they'll set up checkpoints outside the res, and if anyone's had a single drop of liquor, they'll arrest them on the spot. Saying, but it's no minor like type of operation. It's just like they got not only a whole bus out there, but they got 30 or 40, police officers making sure that, they can catch any so-called native Indian that they can and throw them into the jails.
You're absolutely right.
Because especially out there in them border towns, I mean, they just be arresting Gadites, for no reason, just like they do niggas today.
Not just arresting them, but killing them. And it's funny though, because like now we got the census coming around, right? And go ahead, sir. Kind, sir. And now we getting ready to vote, right? The voting's coming around. We got the U.S. Census coming around. And have y'all seen the commercials talking about fill out your census report? You got to fill out the census and put the accurate number on who's in your neighborhood and this and that. Go ahead and grab the mic. Speaking to the mic, soldier.
I'd finish your point first.
Yeah, I did. I let him finish because we go ahead and finish.
No, I said I'd say for you to finish your point.
Okay, gotcha.
Right.
Go ahead, soldier.
I was just gonna say earlier today, Joe Biden came out and he would pick that one lady as his vice president running mate.
Right.
What's her name?
I don't know. I don't pay no attention to them devils. But just know that if you don't vote for Joe, you ain't a real nigga. Ain't that what he said? If you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Yeah.
The nerve of this goddamn devil. I just have to say that. Goes my fault. Keep going.
Kamala Harris. That's her name. Black lady.
Right. Listen, that goes to show you the games that they playing. He got a black lady, and he doing that on purpose because he wants the black vote. That's the only time Black Lives Matter to a devil is when it's time to vote.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But like, wait till you get them U.S. Census paper, man. It's very important that you pay attention to that. One of the questions that you always see highlighted on there, and that there's a must-answer question, is if there's any Indians living in your household. My thing is this: why the hell do they always ask that question? You get what I'm saying?
Aliens?
Huh?
Indians or aliens?
No, Indians.
Oh, Indians?
Indians. They want to know if there's any Indians in your household. My question is this: why do they want to know if there's any Indians in your household? You get what I'm saying? Like, I hate to hop for another class. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but let me tell you something. You mark yes on that. You mark yes, there's some Indians in this household if you want to. I guarantee you, 2 days later, you're going to hear, we're here for the Indians. Right, straight up. Yeah, they're supposed to be on the reservations. We don't know how they bought this house. You get what I'm saying? Straight up. Like, they do that purposely because, let's be honest, like, America's all about birthright, right? Like, that's what white people say. Like, they have, my forefathers came here to America and established this. It's my birthright, right? But let me ask you something. Who has more claim to birthright than a Native American Indian? That's why they try to control them the way they do. You get what I'm saying? If they got all this ancestry.com, they got programs and all these things where you could go back and trace your bloodline and trace what belongs to you. So like, people is collecting money from like the 50s and 60s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine if the Gadites start doing it. Like, how much of a dude to stay the hell away from these devils, man? Because at the end of the day, their sole purpose is to destroy black.
And this or that, and we can start collecting land. Saying, but that's exactly what these devils be doing. Saying, claiming to be,
Right.
1/16th and 64th Native Indian, just like my grandmother, my mom's mom does. You understand? And the sad part is, so many of our people just go with it.
Right.
And we're so destroyed as a nation that we would much rather have a sense of brotherhood with our oppressor, knowing that they are taking resources, that they're taking funding, taking land from us, than joining to our brothers.
Right.
It's like our legitimate brothers, so-called blacks and Hispanics.
Right. Damn right. My fault. I didn't mean to keep,
Oh, no, you too well. Do you have a question, young man?
No.
Okay. We're going to go to Luke chapter 6 and verse 31. But yeah, for us as a nation, it's so important for us to recognize who it is that are truly our brothers and who it is that is our enemies. He's saying our brothers didn't sit there and put us in chains for 400 plus years. Saying our brothers have not been the ones to murder us in the streets for 400 years. have not been the ones to impose their own government, you know, over what's supposed to be a sovereign nation or what's supposed to be a different nation of people concerning blacks and Hispanics.
And if I could,
Go ahead.
that's such a heavy point that you brought out, because the reservations is supposed to be sovereign land.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell are they able to intrude on sovereign land? That right there should let you know that the white man don't respect his own goddamn rules and regulations. And to tell you the truth, if anybody invaded on anything that's sovereign, what would that be?
Act of war.
An act of war. An act of war. Like the white man ain't gonna do that with Russia.
Right.
Russia's sovereign land. The reason he's able to do that on the reservations is because who does the Native Indians have to protect them? Where's their army at? Every other goddamn nation has an army, except for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We the only nation without an army. You know who the army of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is? The I.S.U.P.K under Commander GEN.YAHANNA.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And that's it, and that's all. No, everybody else is out here playing soldier. I know you'd have seen that pictures of that one coon dude with the NF, however it go, the Ain't Effing Around Coalition.
NFAC.
NFAC. This nigga in pictures with Trump. Like, come on, man. You was just talking all that black power stuff, and the whole time you was, listen, that nigga the Illuminati. And I say that as a traitor. Like, that's my little thing I say. That nigga the Illuminati. And, you know, when something ain't right, you know, some bull crap involved. Like, that's who that dude is. He's a straight traitor. It was a setup from the beginning. And this goes to show you that the I.S.U.P.K is full of true priests and prophets of the Lord. Because when they stepped on the scene, everybody was loving them. Oh yeah, look, these niggas really ain't messing around. Kill. He is gonna get black people murdered. He is gonna get black people hurt. He out here. Listen, trust me when I tell you this. There's a shortage on bullets around here. You get what I'm saying? There's a shortage on bullets. Every gun store we go to try to get some bullets, you know what I'm saying? You never got to buy a new gun just to get a 20-pack of bullets. You get what I'm saying? Like you're not getting bullets like that. But you know who do got all the goddamn bullets? The white man.
Right.
Why is that? Because he's the one that makes them. You go to the gun store, they tell you we can't sell you no bullets. But if you want to shoot on the range, we can sell you some bullets to go shoot on the range. Like, that goes to show you they work there, so you know they got all the goddamn bullets. You get what I'm saying? You gonna sit up here and try to fight the white man with the same weapons that he make and he controls and write all the laws for? You gotta be a goddamn fool. It's only one way to fight the white man, and that's with the power of the Most High.
Right.
Nobody can beat him. They've been trying for how long now? They've been trying to defeat him and wipe his people out. Neither one of them things have happened. In fact, we keep getting stronger. You get what I'm saying? It's coming close to the end, man. When them clouds crack open, man, people gonna listen. People gonna get it together, man. You get what I'm saying? Like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, it's time for you to love your brothers, man, because we are at war. That dude that's up there hugged up with Donald Trump, that black coalition leader dude, that nigga don't love us at all. He came through like he had love for black people and Hispanic people and Native Indians. He was pretending like he had love. But the second that you align yourself with the enemy shows you that you don't have any love. You get what I'm saying? And that's the stuff that, like I said, the priests and prophets of the I.S.U.P.K was breaking out to begin with. Where this dude been at all this time? How many people have he got off of drugs? How many people have he fed? How many brothers have he saved? How many brothers have he got out the streets? How many brothers have he changed their lives around? He ain't did a goddamn thing for black people. And the second he hopped on the scene with some guns, talking about if a white man do this, kill him, deposit scoop, yada, 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 he's putting your life in jeopardy. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
He's putting your life in jeopardy. He ain't even telling you to defend yourself. He's telling you to kill him if he do something, if he disrespects you. What is this? The cowboy days, challenging niggas to a duel. You got niggas marching in your line, shooting themselves, scopes on backwards. Like, you niggas don't know what the hell y'all doing. Y'all ain't ready for this warfare. It's only one organization on the planet Earth that's ready for this warfare, and that is the I.S.U.P.K under Commander GEN.YAHANNA.
All right.
We the ones with the scriptures. We the ones with the law, statutes, and commandments. We the ones with the brotherhood. You understand? Them same people that's marching with that Ain't Effing Around coalition, get you a goddamn flyer and join this school, man, and we'll show you how to really fight the oppressor. And there's only one way to really fight them, man. That's following these laws, statutes, and commandments and having absolute brotherhood for your brothers, man. It don't matter, man. Listen, these brothers that you see in this room, just listen. Try it if you want to. I'm gonna show you a ain't effing around type of nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Straight up. That's all I want to bring out. Salaki.
Oh, you 12.
Eating up your class time.
Like, you're 12. You got that, Warrior? Luke 6:31.
Luke 6:31. Got Luke.
Take your time. All right, go ahead.
Luke 6:31. And as ye would that men should do to you.
It says, so just like, anyone out here in the world, it's saying anybody, just like you want, for somebody to do to you. So, for instance, I don't know anyone out here in the world that would want a brother to sit there, go out of his way to murder you, go out of the way to make a whore of your daughter, saying all these different type of things. That is what we want for our, not only ourselves, but our future generations. Go ahead.
Do ye also to them likewise.
So just like so many of us out here in the world, out of the daughters of Zion, saying out of the sisters of the nation of Israel, which is something that so many of us out here in the world have a problem with, is just sleeping with a woman or throwing her away, saying getting her pregnant and throwing her away, doing all these different type of things, just destroying the women of our nation further and further, without taking any of it into consideration. So when in reality, say if the same thing that you have done to these sisters, say if the same thing happened to not even your daughter, just your sister, and your mother,
your cousin,
your cousin. It's like, go ahead, Cap.
If I could, shoot, even if the same thing happened to you, even if it was a female that you was digging, and you was really liking her, and she kind of played you and started like acting like, yeah, take me on a date. You took her on a date. She was acting all nice, and y'all slept with each other, and then she just act like she ain't know you. How you gonna feel?
Right.
Your brother gonna know. He gonna be like, yo, that shit was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to do that. You don't want no females doing that to you. So you shouldn't do it to the sisters either.
Right.
Go both ways.
Right. So if I could, is in just that alone of not only men making whores out of women, but when sitting there and playing with the emotions of a man, that has caused so many problems in our own communities.
Right.
And saying all the different, shootings and domestic violence that's going on. Said all that all has a part to play in it. You understand?
Right.
Slacky. So, and not only does it have to do with, continuing the process of destroying our own communities, our nation, but it also has to do, for instance, we can take the Black community, for example, and the Black Lives Matter, which is portrayed as being something justice for our people, justice for all of the different killings that have happened to us, for the mass incarceration, for the stripping of our culture. The same thing applies to the different tribes out here. You understand? Us as a nation, we can't just expect for our people to sit there and join in arms and be up in arms about what has happened to us, but yet we don't sit there and support our own brothers. And so just like we want to spread awareness and demand justice for the killings, so we got to demand justice for our brothers and sisters in the ICE facilities. So
Right.
we got to demand justice for our brothers and sisters who have had their lands stripped from them and are reduced to, shitholes, Salaki, my language. So we got to keep that same energy that we expect to be, put on us.
Right. And if I could,
Go ahead.
and for you to have that spirit that you're speaking on, for people to have that spirit, is a righteous spirit.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with wanting justice for what happens to you and your brothers, what happens to you and your nation. Every other nation wants it. Are they not? Is the so-called Jewish man to this day still not hunting down so-called Nazi war criminals?
Right.
Is he still not hunting them down? Why ain't he having mercy on them? Why ain't he just letting bygones be bygones? Why ain't he saying, well, that's in the past? Oh, it was so many years ago.
Right.
Listen,
Right.
the grandkids is hunting them down. That's what's going on.
Great grandkids.
Yeah, the great grandkids is hunting them down. You killed my great grandfather's mother. He told me about it. You know what I'm saying? Like every other nation gets justice, man. There's nothing wrong with you having it, man. You get what I'm saying? The Christian church has brainwashed our people into thinking that we have to love the oppressor. You get what I'm saying? Whenever we out on the streets, I'll tell you what kills me. Whenever we out on the streets, man, and we dropping it heavy, it's always one goddamn Christian that wants to come and say, you know what I'm saying, love everybody. Love everybody. But my thing is this. We speaking on the crimes of the oppressor. Where was our love during these crimes? Where was our love at? Well, listen, that same Christian that's talking about we should love the oppressor for the crimes they've done against us, where was that same energy when the stuff was being done to? Don't do that to the spics. Love them. Don't do that to the savages. Love them, right? Where was that at? It was nowhere to be found, man. Nowhere to be found. If I could, I'd like to pull a scripture.
Oh, go ahead.
What's our question? Let's get Psalms 131 and 21. Book of Psalms 139, Salaki, and 21. 139 and 21. You get what I'm saying? Because you have to learn how to have a demeanor of righteousness when it comes to your brothers. There's nothing wrong with you wanting justice, man. There's nothing wrong with you wanting that, man. You get what I'm saying? In fact, you should pray for it. You should pray that the Lord put these heathens to death.
Right.
139 and 21.
I got it.
Yeah.
All right, most of Christ. Let's get it.
Psalms 139 and 21. Do not I hate them?
Say that again.
Do not I hate them?
No, we should love everybody.
Do not I hate them?
Hey, I thought hate wasn't in the Bible.
Do not I hate them?
Keep going.
O Lord, that hate thee.
That hate who?
That hate thee.
Listen, do not I hate them that hate me? Why the hell do I have to love the people that hate me? See, this is where Christianity gets it wrong at, man. This is where Christianity gets it wrong. You get what I'm saying? Because they want you to love the people that hate you. And they want you to hate the same people that's going through the same thing that you are.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's okay for me to hate another black man. I can hate him all day long.
Right.
The same black man that's oppressed like me, the same Hispanic man that's oppressed like me, the same. It's okay if I say that. It's okay. But the second I say the white man.
Psalms 139 and 21.
Go ahead.
Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee?
Keep going.
And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee?
Say that again.
And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee?
Am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? Listen, it's okay for you to hate your goddamn enemies, man.
Right.
You don't have to love the people who's trying to kill you. Like for everybody that's watching online, and here's the funny part, because I see so many goddamn devils all the time try to speak like we supposed to love them. Well, you know, you gotta love your neighbor. Love your neighbor. You ain't my goddamn neighbor, first of all. And second of all, my thing is this. Where was your love? Like, you know how many times I've seen white people in court where a black man has murdered somebody in their family and they talking about how much they hate them and want them dead and want them to rot in prison and hope they burn in hell and all these other things. Why come they didn't love them?
Right.
So go ahead and bring it out.
I'm gonna let you finish your point.
All right, most hardcore. Like, there's nothing wrong with wanting vengeance. There's nothing wrong with hating your enemy, man. Like, listen, in Babylon, there's one thing that we know for sure. We've tried it for 400 years. You cannot combat hate with love. You cannot fight hate with love. Get that Christian philosophy out your mind, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. You understand that when it comes to each other. Like we know that when it comes to each other. Like, that's the number one thing, man. Like, when it comes to beefing with amongst each other, the number one thing to fly out our mouth is, I wish a nigga would.
Right.
I wish this nigga would play with me like that. I'm a bust his head. Like, we understand that when it comes to each other very well. But when we see the white man and we see his crimes and what he's done, for some odd reason, we want to hug him in the courtroom and stroke their hair. Like, I know he killed my brother, but I want to give her a hug. Let me give this white woman a hug. Like, I know he killed my son, but, you know, blue lives matter. So it's about, you know, loving everybody.
Right.
Like, why come you don't have that same passion, that same energy, that same hatred for our goddamn enemy? You got something you want to say, Cap?
I was going to say, Cap, talk about.
Captain, like, we need to have the same compassion and hatred that you got for your goddamn brother. Have that for your real enemy. Don't be mad because the same brother that you mad at, he's oppressed like you. He's suffering like you. He's down and out like you. He got listen, the white man got his boot on his neck the same way he does yours.
Right.
Don't be with that brother. Love that brother. Forgive that brother, man. And hate your real goddamn enemy. Hate the man that put y'all both in this position. Hate the man that's put our brothers on the reservations.
Right.
Our brothers in the barrios. Our brothers in the ghetto. Let's hate him. And let's hate him with righteous hate. Go ahead, Ross.
It's like, I was just going to bring this example out from this book. Understand? To add on to your point about how Christianity has taught us to love our enemies and hate really our brothers.
Right.
But the book is called When I Was a Slave.
That's messed up. Just the title.
Page 9. This is a brother by the name of Frank Bell, he was interviewed in Madisonville, Texas. He was 86 at the time. And this is a perfect example of who it is, it's like the people that is at Christianity and our oppressor and these sellouts want us to love. Because just like how this devil did this to this brother back then, they do the same thing to us today.
Right.
So page 9, and the last paragraph. When I'm about 17, I marries a gal while master on drunk spell. Master, he run her off, and I slips off at night to see her, but he finds it out. He takes a big, long knife and cuts her head plump off and ties a great heavy weight to her and makes me throw her in the river. Then he puts me in chains, and every night he come give me a whipping for a long time. And just like Christianity in America wants us to forgive those heinous acts, they do the same thing today. For instance, we can look at Philando Castile. So just like this sister sat there and cried out for her husband as it was his slave master was about to chop her head off and cut her throat. And saying how it is that sister, was gurgling on her own blood as she reached for her man, what was supposed to be her protection. And as that brother had to sit there and watch after that sister had passed away, saying from whatever wound she had, inflicted upon her from that goddamn devil. you know, all the way to the end. The same thing happened with that brother Philando Castile and his rib and his daughter. And so just like, you know, that you know, beast sat there and shot him in his front seat, and he was choking on his own blood, you know, thinking of his rib and his baby in the back seat. And as it is, she was crying out for Slaggy, and as it is, she was crying out for him, and basically giving an account of what it is that was happening. The same thing was happening to this brother, you know, in this book right here, this historical account. Slaggy, go ahead.
And if I could, even more recent, the sister that got shot in her own house. You know what I'm saying? Forgive me, I can't think of the sister's name, but
Breonna Taylor.
What's her name?
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor. She got shot in her own house, and her husband returned fire at the police. You know what I'm saying? Like, it still, like, this book is called When I Was a Slave, but the thing is this: we still slaves here in America. We still slaves here in America. Our women are still getting their head chopped off, metaphorically at this point, because they're getting 1,000 bullets put in their chest.
Right.
Man or woman, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian here in this land is not safe at all. Never was, never will be. That's why we have to come together in brotherhood and solidarity and pray to the Most High God to come and destroy this place, man.
Right.
Come and lay this place to waste, man. Like after reading that, tell that man to love the oppressor. After reading that, how can you tell his kids, when he finally do have kids, that it's okay to love them? And if you got any love for your brothers, how can you have love for the oppressor after reading something like that, man? We all know the history of slavery. We all know what happened to the Black people. We all know what's happened to the Hispanic people. We all know what's happened to the Indian people, man. And here's another thing. We used to all know that we all share the same goddamn blood.
Right.
I remember coming up, man, it was a very known fact that you can't be Black without having Indian in your blood, and you can't be Indian without having Black in your blood.
Right.
It was a well-known fact that we were all the same people. And now we act like we don't, like we not. You get what I'm saying? We acting like we not the same people. Like we don't share the same blood, man. And here's the thing. I can never, ever love the oppressor for what he's done to my forefathers,
Right.
my foremothers, man. I will never love him. And anybody that tries to make me love him is a goddamn traitor and really should be put to death, in my opinion. You get what I'm saying? You're a detriment to Black supremacy. When you just think about the KKK, when you're a detriment to white supremacy, they get rid of you. You're a traitor to them, are you not? No, don't call Billy Bob. He's not. He's a nigger lover, right? They call him that in a minute, nigger lover. You know what you is? You're a devil lover. We need to start shaming them the same way. You get what I'm saying? We have to. And you get what I'm saying? We have to save the nation. No one man is above the nation. No one man is above the Most High in Christ.
Right.
To think that you can disobey and not follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. We are supposed to be at war with our goddamn enemies. We are. You get what I'm saying? We are not the same people. As a matter of fact, I'd like to pull another scripture. Let's get Ezra 10 and 11. Kind of McCon. Can you hear? Okay, I hope y'all can hear me now. I'm gonna start speaking a little bit louder. Let me get Ezra 10 and 11. You understand? Like, we are not supposed to be with these people at all. We are only supposed to have love for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians only. That's it, and that's all. Anybody else is a goddamn enemy.
Right.
Lions and tigers don't get along at all. You will never see a pride of lions with tigers mixed in it. You get what I'm saying? You will never see it. A pride of lions with some wolves mixed in it. Everything else is that competition. Understand? We need to be too. You got it? Ezra 10 and 11. Let's get it. Nice and loud. Go ahead, Madara.
I was like, I just wanted to add a little thing on what it was that you had said.
Go ahead.
You saying how it is that the animals recognize who it is their enemy is. But the crazy thing is, us as a nation, not only do we recognize our enemy as, I guess you would say, a friend,
Right.
but so
enemy.
Yeah, but so many of us recognize our brothers as our own enemies.
Right.
Saying I'm in a plethora of native chats, and you sit there and read the comments on something that is raising awareness about black problems, saying something that is talking about the protests going on with black killings. You always got brothers out there and sisters that sit there and say, oh, well, blacks, they did this, they did that. Hispanics, they did this, they did that. Hispanics ain't so-called Native Indians. We're separate from them. But yet at the same time, I mean, we willingly join to these devils' claims.
When it's something involving a white man, nobody brings up them problems at all.
Right.
How often do they say the white man stole this from us and did that to us?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? They got nothing but love and forgiveness for them. Let's get that scripture if we could, soldier. Ezra 10 and 11.
Ezra 10 and 11. Now therefore, make confessions unto the Lord God of your father.
God of who?
Of your father.
A very, very distinction between who he's talking to. God of your fathers. Keep going.
And do his pleasure.
And do what?
And do his pleasure.
Something that's going to piss him off.
10 and 11. Now therefore, make confessions unto the Lord God of your fathers.
And do his pleasure. Keep going.
And separate yourselves from the people of the land.
Let me tell you something. When you separate yourselves from the people of the land, that gives the Most High pleasure. That makes him happy. He don't want to see no goddamn interracial marriages. He want to see blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian marriages. Listen, the Lord gave you 12 flavors to choose from. You get what I'm saying? Why the hell do you got to get with a
Right. Right.
Go ahead. Something you want to bring out?
I was gonna add on to what it was that you had brought out and said not only is it based off of interracial marriage, but as well as who it is that we worship as a nation.
Right.
And us sitting there and joining to America and conforming to her ways.
Right.
And saying we sit there when we follow her God and saying the white Jesus and saying the white angels, all this different white supremacy that is that we follow as a nation, all because we decided to join to this disgusting country in her, when in reality our God, saying our Lord, this higher power, it's like
pleasure to see the separation. You get what I'm saying? Like, to separate from the people that's killing you, to separate from the people that slaughtered you and did all these things, man. Like, that gives the Lord such pleasure. But instead, you know what I've seen, and this is the most wicked thing that I've ever seen. And when I was in the world, I didn't know no better. I did it too. But once I found out the truth, it stopped immediately. But like let's take Thanksgiving. I'm gonna just use Thanksgiving by itself. Like, what does Thanksgiving really represent? It represents the slaughter of the Native Indians, right? The slaughtering of Native Indians and the stealing of their land. It's the raping of their women, the murder of their children. You get what I'm saying? And it's the raping of their children, the murder of their land. This is Thanksgiving. To sit around and celebrate it and talk about it's all about family. When if you love your family, you wouldn't be celebrating and having a feast day till they got them slaughtered. You get what I'm saying? For a Native Indian to celebrate Thanksgiving is some of the most wicked stuff I've ever seen. And not just a Native Indian, but Hispanics and blacks as well. Because we are all one people, man. And when you celebrate not just Thanksgiving, but these other pagan holidays as well, you are not separate. You are with the enemy. That doesn't give the Lord pleasure. You are making the Lord very angry, man.
right.
By celebrating these things, man. And them same people that talk all this wicked stuff about us not being the same people join with the white man. They want to join with him. They want to celebrate his holidays. They kind of figure like this: if you can't beat them, join them. And that's all it is. It's really cowardice. Go ahead, soldier.
So I was gonna add, So not only does it bring the Lord pleasure to separate from these different heathens, but it brings him pleasure knowing that you join to your brothers. Saying, because you can separate from, these devils, our oppressor, and yet still not accept your brothers. You understand? Except so-called blacks and Hispanics.
Right.
So, but when it's like, but when it all boils down to it, and we recognize who it is that we are as a people, and who it is that the other, 11 tribes are as a nation, I mean, that brings pleasure to the Lord, knowing that his people that have been scattered and have had their identity, it's like I shouldn't say misplaced, but
Stolen.
Yeah, stolen from them, knowing that they finally recognize who it is that they are, who it is that their brothers are, what it is that is expected of them. That brings the Lord pleasure. It's like, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you good. You good. I'll keep interrupting you. Let's get 1 John 4:20, if we could. 1 John 4:20. Understand? Because listen, man. If you want to combat white supremacy, if you want to combat all this wickedness that's going on in the world, brotherhood is the answer.
Right.
Ask me a question. You know what the answer is? Brotherhood.
Right.
It don't matter what the question is. The answer is brotherhood. The answer is brotherhood. Point blank, period. What time is it? Brotherhood. What you want to eat? Brotherhood. Where you going? Brotherhood. You get what I'm saying? If you want America to fall, guess how you're going to do that? With brotherhood. Right. Nothing scares the oppressor more than blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians coming together, man. That's why they work so hard to keep us separated and segregated amongst each other. You understand? You got that scripture?
It's like,
yeah.
It's like.
Go ahead, Monroe. You got something you want to bring out?
John, just page 33. It says Africans, which whenever, obviously because of, our identity being stolen from us and us being placed, there's certain things it is that you gotta, know how it is to break down in these different historical books.
Right.
So, but it says Africans and the remaining enslaved Indians fled their masters and created their own secret colonies, but it's like beyond European eyes. In time, these would pose the most disruptive challenge the European colonial system faced in the Americas.
Damn.
Damn.
Listen, right? Read that again. Read that again if you could, soldier.
From the top?
From the top.
Come on. Africans.
Now, when it says Africans, of course, they're talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, of course, because it's like we're the only people who have been labeled and relabeled and continue to be relabeled. I'm pretty sure next year they're going to be calling us African Israelite Americans or something, because the white man is such an animal, and the one thing that he wants to do always is keep disrupting what we got going on, so he doesn't have to face the reality. The reality is this: we are the Lord's chosen people.
Right.
We are the Lord's chosen people, and as long as he can fight against that and keep us from knowing who we really are, that's how he holds power.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I used the Nick Cannon example. If Nick Cannon would have stuck to his guns, you know what would have happened? Black people would have supported him and black people would have loved him. But because he turned Judas and a traitor and was a coward, he's mad because the black people turned on him. Don't nobody want no, listen, you can't be a coward and a leader. It doesn't work like that. If you want to speak on things or put yourself out there as a goddamn leader, you can't be a coward. Who wants to follow a coward?
Right.
Who believes in a goddamn coward? When you read this Bible, was Christ a coward? Hell no, he was the most hardcore man that you ever seen. Get what I'm saying? He could have easily pulled a coward move when they came for him. They didn't know what he looked like. We're here for Jesus. He could have pointed at one of his disciples. It's this nigga, that's him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was like, nah, it's me. I stay here. I'm gone. Get what I'm saying? Not only that, but he prepared his soldiers for when he was gone. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's a real leader, man. That's bravery, man. You got to be willing to die for what you believe in. If you ain't willing to die for what the hell you believe in, then shut the hell up.
Right.
That's what you do. Shut the hell up.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? We're pretending out here. This is warfare. This is real life. This ain't no goddamn game. Nick Cannon out here playing games. Ain't nobody got time for games. He apologizing to the same man that stole his identity. Listen, here's the thing. Like I said, I can break into a nigga house and take everything he got, right? And sit across the table from him. Would he apologize to me?
Right.
Would he and ha with me? He'd be showing all his pearly whites from ear to ear. That's what Nick Cannon was doing. He was showing all his pearly whites. He and ha.
Right.
That's the first time I ever seen Nick Cannon truly wilding out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what he was doing. He was truly wilding out to be he and ha and apologizing to somebody that owes him. You get what I'm saying? So lucky. I got a little long-winded. Let's get this. Bring that out again real quick.
Come on. Africans and the remaining enslaved Indians.
They really mean blacks. That's when they say Africans. Keep going.
Fled their masters and created their own secret colonies.
Created their own secret colonies. Created their own brotherhood the way they're supposed to.
Beyond European eyes.
Listen, don't let the enemy in on anything that you're doing. You want to keep separate. The reason this was strong and powerful because they were separate from the goddamn enemy. Keep going.
In time, these would pose the most disruptive challenge the European colonial system faced in the Americas.
Listen, they said disruptive, but what they really want to say is, man, we couldn't beat these niggas for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they had brotherhood. They had brotherhood. Let me get that John scripture, if you would.
John 4:20.
1 John 4:20. Go ahead.
If a man say, I love God, and he hated his brother.
Listen, you cannot love the Most High if you hate your brothers. All them other cats that be online in them group chats you be in, Matara Bangat, and you know, they be talking about black this and Hispanic that, but then in the same breath, they want to talk about how they love God. Read that again.
If a man say, I love God, and hated his brother.
Listen, if you love God and hated your brother, keep going.
He is a liar.
He's a who?
He is a liar.
He's a goddamn liar. Keep going.
For he that loveth not his brother whom hath seen.
Who he has seen. Listen, if you can't love your brother who you see every goddamn day, if you can't love your brother who you suffering with, who's in the same situation as you, who's suffering like you, who's oppressed like you, if you can't love him, keep going.
How can he love God whom he hath not seen?
How can you possibly love the Most High?
Right.
Them people in them chat that you be talking to, if they can't love me and you, if they can't love every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, how can they possibly love the Most High?
Right.
They can love the white man though, huh?
Right.
They can love him.
Right.
And they got love for him, but they ain't got no love for us. You ain't got no love for Snoop Dogg and Death Row? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You's a goddamn liar. You don't love the Most High. You hate that Most High. You're an enemy to the Most High.
Right.
And if you're an enemy to him, you're an enemy to me. Go ahead, soldier.
It's like it. And not only is it that we hate our own brothers and for so-called Native Indians, but we also, like, along with the love that it is that we give to our oppressor, we also sit there and say, as you know, a nation, as different sovereign nations, that our ancestors would want us to love and forgive those that have done all these different horrific atrocities against our nation.
Right.
You understand? Knowing damn well that our ancestors sat there and went to war so that these different crimes would not be committed against us. You understand? Went to war so that we would no longer be slaves and that we could rule over, what land it was that we had left as a nation.
Right. That's such a heavy point. Our forefathers didn't die for you to love the same people that murdered them.
Right.
Well, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you 12. That's all I had.
Like, our forefathers didn't die for you to. Our forefathers didn't die so you could keep loving the goddamn oppressor. You get what I'm saying? let me tell you something. If the Lord see fit that I lose my life in this warfare, it ain't for you to love the white man.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Listen, the devil kill me. You better not dare hug him or forgive him at my goddamn trial, my funeral, none of that. You better
Right.
not goddamn. You better listen. You better go to your grave hating him and praying for vengeance. That's what you better do. Go to your grave praying for vengeance, praying for justice, praying that he be destroyed, praying that all of his bloodline is wiped out. You understand? That's what I pray for. I pray that every non-black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, hear me out very closely. I pray that every non-black, Hispanic, and Native Indian drop dead.
Right.
I need them to die like immediately, right now,
Right.
so my people can live. I got a secret, man, and I don't know if y'all know this, but it's really not a secret to the I.S.U.P.K. It's a secret to y'all. But if all the heathen nations, if the white man and the African man and the Chinese man and the Asian man and all these other heathen nations, if they all died overnight, the world would not stop.
Right.
This thing would keep spinning. You get what I'm saying? If all the white cops perished, guess what? Your neighborhood will be the safest it's ever been.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be the worst. Let me tell you something. If all the white men in the army died and the government died, if all the white people died, guess what? Your community will be drug free. You're like, wait, what?
Right.
Hear me out. If all the white people died, your community would be drug free. You know why? Because black people don't own planes, trains, boats to bring the drugs in. We don't own it. How they gonna get over here without transportation?
Right.
Go ahead, bring it up.
It's like that also applies to so-called sovereign nations,
Right.
the reservations, saying which so many of us out here are suffering from. The new what was that called?
Stockholm.
No, like meth epidemics and opioid epidemics.
Oh man!
And saying which for so many of us, as sovereign nations, that's new to us. So we never used to have such a surge of these different drugs coming into our communities. So we used to mainly have, really alcohol was our main problem.
Right.
So we was getting high off marijuana from our own beliefs and understandings, but it never really posed a problem. And the main thing was alcohol, but then meth comes in, opioids come in, and now all of a sudden our nation is overwhelmed by it. You understand? And one thing for us to realize is that all comes from America, comes from our oppressor. And we don't have the facilities or the fields and able to produce these different substances. They have to come from an outside source. And so just like our oppressor sat there and pumped drugs and alcohol into our communities before, they're doing the same things now. Just like they did this with the heathen nations when they created the opioid epidemics in China in order to get knowledge on the Silk Road, or when they were pumping drugs into Vietnam or taking drugs out of the Middle East in order for them to, be able to create their own substances. I mean, there's always that main source, and it's always one source, and that is our oppressor.
Right.
So you had something you wanted to ask, young man?
Yeah, I had a little question. Now, when it came to the sovereign nation part, when it comes to like being set apart, Israel finding itself and becoming its own, like separate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like the Muslims, how when you go to their mosques, I don't agree with the Muslims. But when you go to their mosques, how they got the flag in there and they got it set, but when you enter their establishment, you no longer in the United States, you're on their ground. Is it kind of the same here?
What do you mean? So you talk about the I.S.U.P.K.?
Yeah, as far as being separate. Like,
well, listen, this I.S.U.P.K., you want to take them out of Rasalaki? You sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm most on Christ. As far as the I.S.U.P.K. is concerned, when we say separate, like at the end of the day, we don't claim to be a sovereign nation, but we are sovereign as a nation. If that makes any sense, being this like we don't have the power that we want, or that the Most High is going to grant us eventually. It's not here yet, but we are separate. We are sovereign. Like you will never, ever, ever, ever see any kind of white man, Korean man, Japanese man, African, no other heathen nation associated with this organization. Nobody but blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
That's on the front line and behind the scenes. You will never see anybody but blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians on the front lines and behind the scenes. You get what I'm saying? Point blank, period. And when it comes to like for us, the way that we move and operate, we look at it like this: like we POWs, we're prisoners of war. You get what I'm saying? So we operate as prisoners of war.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? If you in a war camp, if you're a prisoner of war, you're not fraternizing with the goddamn enemy. You get what I'm saying? You're not going to trying to be friends with the guard. You're going to look out for your people. You're only worried about your people. And that's us. We're only worried about our people. We're only dealing with our people. Only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians only. That's the only thing that we deal with. That's the only thing we care about.
Right.
And if I could, before we get ready to shut it down, let's pull Mark 12 and 29. Get a couple more scriptures in real quick.
So you want to get more? It's 48 right now.
So you trying to do all of those?
No. Let's do 2.
All right, so let's keep walking down till we get about 5 minutes.
We're past 5.
That'd be enough time for 2 verses.
You got to read the Hebrew.
Huh?
You got to read the Hebrew.
Sis who? Yeah, right there. The next try, huh?
What? You're smart, aren't you?
Wow.
Please. Gosh, I'm fun.
Well, I'm drinking. So, tomato, tomato.
You're terrible.
No, I got you.
There's one scripture, and then we're going to do Lord's Prayer and blessings, and that's it.
I got you.
So,
I don't need that. I got my own.
okay, so don't sit there.
All right, let's rock it out.
Mark 12:29.
Go ahead.
And Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel.
So he's talking to a Pharisee. You know what I'm saying? They tried to confound Christ, trying to sneak this in with questions. You get what I'm saying? So they asked him, what's the greatest commandment, right? So he answered them. And let's hear what the greatest commandment is.
The first of all commandments is, Hear, O Israel. The Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt thy heart, and with all thy soul, with all thy mind, and with all thy strength.
That you love the Most High with everything in you. Keep going.
This is the first commandment.
That's the very first commandment. Let's keep going.
And the second is namely this.
And the second one is just like the first one. Keep going.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
You should love thy neighbor as yourself. Who is your neighbor, soldier?
Fellow Israelites.
Damn right. Every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Love them like yourself. I got one more scripture I want to pull real quick. Let's get John 15 and 12. John 15 and 12. You understand? Loving your brother is the most important thing that you can do when it comes to serving the Most High, man. Right. If you love your brother, man, then there's nothing that we can't accomplish, man. Like I said, it don't matter the answer. You get what I'm saying? What I want to eat? Brotherhood. You get what I'm saying? Where you going tomorrow? Brotherhood. Right. You get what I'm saying? Don't matter the question. Brotherhood is the answer.
John chapter 15, verse 12.
Right.
This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
Read that again.
This is my commandment.
This is my commandment. This is the Most High. This is what I command. I order you to do this. Here's the order. Keep going.
that ye love one another as I have loved you.
That you love one another as I loved you. Let me ask you something. How has the Most High loved us, man? With everything in him, man. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it, man. When you read these scriptures and you see how many times that we've disobeyed the Most High, even to this day, even before the truth, how much we disobeyed the Most High. He was out here whoremongering and doing all this wicked stuff. Just imagine, man. Don't make me go into details, but I will. You get what I'm saying? Just imagine how many whores you'd have slept with no protection. You should have had cooties. You get what I'm saying? But imagine all the stuff that you've done. You know what I'm saying? For the Most High Christ to still love you, to still show you the mercy. You get what I'm saying? Like all the stuff that you should have really died for. I know. Listen, if it wasn't for the love of the Most High in Christ, I would have been dead.
Right.
He showed me mercy. I don't know why he chose me, man. I really don't.
Right.
I don't know how a nigga like me slipped through the loophole and was able to survive and come into this truth, man, and be rose up.
Right.
I don't know how. I really don't. For all the wicked stuff I've done, I should have been dead. I should have been like dead. You know what I'm saying? And he loved me, man. And it's my job to love all my brothers the way that he's loved me, man. It's my job to do that. It's my job to love that goddamn dope fiend that nobody else love. That brother asking for change, it's my job to love him, man. It's my job to love him, man. You hear what I'm saying? If he asks me for some change, I gotta give it to him. If I got it to give it to him. Don't be trying to be all funny with him because you think he's lower than you. Love that brother, man.
Right.
Love that goddamn brother. Go ahead, Ben guy.
So I just wanted to add, just like, you had brought out how it was that, Christ was, tortured and murdered by these devils, and how it is that us as a nation, we're supposed to be willing to sacrifice just as much as it was that Christ had.
Right.
Understand our own lives and, getting out of that, I guess you say comfort area.
Yeah, that comfort zone. Right.
John, you're saying, but yet so many of us as a nation, like, we're just so willing to throw our own brothers under the bus if it means that we get to survive.
Right.
You're saying that if it means that we don't get punished by our oppressor or one of our brothers because of the crimes that it is that we, have committed.
Right.
For instance, there's a video that went viral not long ago about this Jake who basically was bragging about him making money off of snitching on his own brothers, saying on the people that it was that he grew up with, and how it was that he was making, he was getting well off of doing it.
Was a nigga with IUIC?
Might as well have been.
Right.
You understand? And so many of our people don't realize that, Christ is against snitching. You understand? Right. The Most High God is against snitching on your brothers and turning your backs on those that have been suffering alongside you for over 400 years. But yet, since so many of us are Christians, and since so many of us are so goddamn destroyed in America, we don't see it as a problem if it means that we get to come up in America's society.
Right. And that's such a heavy point you brought out. I believe that scriptures in Deuteronomy, I may be wrong, where it talks about
the tender mummy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like if that brother, if he escape, you know what I'm saying, the prosecution of the oppressor, you know what I'm saying, getting that whip off your back, you ain't supposed to snitch on him. He's hiding here, boss. This him. Like, and equate that to your slavery. If you find a way to slack off at your slavery, it's always a nigga that's hating on you. You know what I'm saying? They want to turn you in and turn Judas, man.
Right.
And that ain't what you're supposed to do, man. If that brother find a way to slack off, you're supposed to be happy for that brother. You know what I'm saying? Damn, he ain't working as hard as I am. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Most High Christ, man, that brother found a way to find a loophole in a gap in the loophole. You get what I'm saying? Because the oppressor do it all the time. The oppressor rules over you. These oppressors is coming straight out of college. and becoming your boss at a job that you've been there for 10, 15 years.
Right.
He comes in, rules right over you, making triple what you make, and in the office propping his feet up, looking at the camera, making sure that you work hard, coming out, beating your back. You understand? And then you see a nigga do it. This nigga make less than you, and you want to try to snitch on him, man. That's not brotherhood.
Right.
That's not brotherhood, man. You show that brother some goddamn compassion and mercy, man. That's what you do. With that being said, we about to go ahead and wrap class up, man. We the I.S.U.P.K. I'll let you do all that stuff.
Count it down. Maybe 12. So
Wrap class up.
we're gonna go ahead and wrap up class. And then I'm gonna hand the class over to Priest and Officer Isaiah.
Damn right. And if I could, we the I.S.U.P.K. started 1 West 125th Street. Make sure that you're paying your tithes. You understand? Make sure that you're paying your goddamn tithes, man. Support this truth. Share this class. Spread this truth. And remember, if it's not I.S.U.P.K., it is not of the Lord and it is not of the truth.
Right.
And let me get these security announcements. I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted or a sister. There's another 6 months in which a brother and sister will court each other. In the 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is the commandments. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3 and 8 through 10, which means 10th in the Hebrew. Ma'asharam. 10% of every penny the increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering. Not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like. Upcoming holy complications. The Passover. Keep your ears glued to the school. Commander GEN.YAHANNA will give you the word. It is not over yet. New York is still being destroyed by the Lord. So let's just, bear witness to the works of the Lord and make sure that we keep our ears to Black Watch and listening to the orders Commander GEN.YAHANNA gives.
Right.
Kim and Aqua have to check the bulletin board and the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband / scarf. With that being said, imajim, which means to stand. Wapun hak yadam. Wapunya hak yadam. You want to do this? This one. Wapunya hak yadam, which means to turn and face the east. I got it. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Wadat. Ayah. Shimka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Tabaa. Ratazarka. Ayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Ayah. Bashmayim. Nathan. Lanawa. Lakam. Call. Wayan. Yawan. Wasalakinawa. Kabawathinawa. Kasalakinawa. Kabawathinawa. Wala'a. Tabayanawa. Basawan. Abba. Awashayanawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Walahala. Watapara. Walayam. Amma. In the English. Okay. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. As we forgive.
Lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. The prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushua. Babakashah. Yandanawa. Hakah. Latapara. Call Matalah. Wakam Marawaf.
Wakam Marawaf.
Haka.
Hakat.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Latazarayim.
Hamatazarayim.
Haka.
Hakat.
Lakwatium.
Ahak.
Hamathium.
Hamathium.
Haka.
Hakat.
Arakawaf.
Arakawaf.
Hatamala.
Atamahala.
Lagarshan.
Lagarshan.
Bashim.
Bashim.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
The water Aman.
The water Aman.
Pray for the power in English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All men of sickness.
All men of sickness.
And all men of disease.
And all men of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Sar, which means to turn. Turn and face the teacher. Courtesy salute to the teacher. Man of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Ta. Turn, face the sisters. Courtesy salute to the sisters online. Man of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak. Yahweh Shamar Al-Tan Ba'ashem Yahushua. What we said is, Lord, in the name of Christ, watch over. Men of Israel. Yeah, I'm going to do it after we get out. Men of Israel, Azamatah, bless this. Yeah, the first one, wait till we get off here.